Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Hello there, and welcome to Tales from Peridia, a technical redo, but first time watching for y'all. This is not the first time I've interviewed this guy. Um, if you guys don't know, we are joined by Star Wars Closet, the fastest growing and most bought sub channel that I've ever seen. Did that in the last one. You guys didn't see it, but I got to do it again. Um, or as Clone Force 97 likes to say, this dude has the power of God on his side.
Thank you.
How you doing today, good buddy?
I'm good, bro. Doing really well. You know what? I was excited to do the same exact interview for a second time.
Good, I hope so. Last time, honestly, looking back, we just kind of like beat a dead horse on the same topic for like
Yeah,
45 minutes.
yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, I'm prepared to do it again, though.
Your happiness is my happiness. I'm here for you and your people. That's what I'm here for. So whatever you want.
Shit, I don't have any people. Not on this channel. I got like 60 subs.
You don't? You're like over 5. You're close to 5, right? 500?
On Star Wars Nerd, Tales from Peridia's got like maybe 70 now. I don't know. It's
You know what? It's all the same. It's still you.
well, before we get into this, I talked about it in the Star Wars with Percy Man interview that's coming out before this one, or will already be out. I don't know. I'm talking in future, past, and present tense. It's been a long day. But we talked about it. JT obviously got his Instagram wrongfully disabled for no fucking reason whatsoever.
That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
put a link in the description. They recently just passed 30,000 signatures on this change.org petition to get Meta to actually have human representation so people can get in contact to fucking get AI off their ass and get their fucking accounts back, because it's honestly dog shit that he can't get a hold of anybody. And or not even just JT. There's so many people that this shit has happened to. I don't know if you remember Darth Disney, but his account got fucking just taken down for no reason whatsoever. And he had to restart. Dude had a lot of fucking subs. Well, not subs, but followers. JT, dude has been doing I think he said he's been like doing the Instagram shit for since like 2012, 2013 or some shit like that. And dude had a lot of good connections, and now it's just gone because Meta AI is dog shit. So go and sign the petition down below to get them to fix their fucking shit essentially. But that said and done, Star Wars Closet, let's get into these questions. What got you into Star Wars?
Well, it's a tale as old as time. I was but a child, and I walked into, I think I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and couldn't sleep that night. I've always had a problem sleeping. It's not like insomnia or anything, but I'm up late all the time, can't sleep. I'm always thinking. So one of those nights, couldn't think, and I could hear my dad in the living room, and I went in there, and my parents were young when they had me. My mom was 19, he was 21, so they were young. So he would always stay up late, watch movies and stuff, and like hang out. And he was like real chill, like he's super young dad. So he was like, "Come hang out, dude," and I'm like 6. So um, I came in, and he was like, "What's up, dude? Can't sleep?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Well, come watch Star Wars with me." And he was watching Return of the Jedi. And right when I came in, I watched it with him. And, 6 or 7 years old, when you're seeing Ewoks for the first time, you think that's like the coolest thing ever. When you're pushing 33, you kind of look back and you think uh, but that's what got me in. That's what got me hooked. I remember watching Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker fight 7 years old. And asking my dad like 1,000 questions. Like, who's this dude that looks like a robot? And why is he fighting this blonde dude in a black suit, and who's the old guy? And I was asking him all these questions, and he was so excited to answer them because he was a big Star Wars fan. And so watched the whole movie. And since we watched Return of the Jedi, he said, now, you're going to have to watch the other ones. So then we went back and watched OG Star Wars, aka New Hope, and then to me the GOAT, Empire Strikes Back, and then we watched Return of the Jedi again with context. And so that's pretty much what did it. And then fast forward to '99 when Phantom Menace came out, we went and saw it not once but 4 times. Me and my dad, and me and my brother. My brother would have been like 5 at the time when that came out. And we went and saw it 4 times. I was obsessed with it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Darth Maul, like, awesome. Qui-Gon Jinn, awesome. But that was when I fell in love with like the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so that's kind of what did it. Kind of twofold. I know you hate him, but that's what got me into it. Return of the Jedi, and then going to see a Phantom Menace in theaters. And since then, I've always been hooked.
After meeting one of the most famous Ewoks, my perspective and opinions on the Ewoks have changed. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Dude, he was tough to talk to,
Bro. There was a post on Facebook and I shared it. It said, if you could fight any celebrity for $6 million, who would it be? And I said, Warwick Davis. I'll do it for free. I already got beef with that guy.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, unfriendly is the nicest way I could put him. When he ate breakfast right next to us at the hotel, then rode off on a Segway, I knew I was done at that point.
Yeah, I knew I was done when I went to go talk to him, and the whole time he was,
yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Literally, like a classic angry celebrity. Like the weirdest thing. Yeah, you're right. He was weird, man. It was so weird.
Yeah, but I've already beaten that topic to death, but I will still stand on that hill. I got beef with Warwick Davis. So.
And if you do, I do. So.
God, no, I'm not that famous. We're not doing that type of shit. Dude, yeah. What was it like seeing Phantom Menace, obviously, in '99, like when it first came out? Like the theater reactions and all that.
It was unreal. I was born in '92, so I'd have been 7. So as a 7-year-old seeing it, there was nothing better on earth.
Oh, dude, your mind was completely fucking blown.
Oh man, yeah. Like I remember vividly everything, and I remember the pod racing. It's when you're 7 years old and you're watching that on the big screen for the first time. I thought that's what I'm going to be. I'm not, like, NASCAR is stupid. I'm going to be a pod racer. That's what, like, it was the coolest thing ever. And then watching Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fight Maul, like, I was obsessed with it. I would go to bed thinking about the fight. I tried to play the whole thing in my head over and over and over. And then my cousin, this was back in the day where you could get, like, we would call them bootleg copies of DVDs. And my cousin,
Tales of Peridia does not condone getting pirated DVDs.
Don't do it. Don't do it. This is past the statute of limitations, though.
But I will say, due to the recent things I found out about Stop Killing Games and Ubisoft just completely deleting games out of people's libraries that they paid for, pirate as many video games as you want, because if you buy it and you don't own it, fuck it. Pirating is not stealing.
He had this, like, it was this bootleg copy of Phantom Menace, and it had Darth Maul on the disc. So I don't know where he got it. But he had it, and we watched it, and it was basically someone recording the movie from the theater. And yes, but like worse. Like
that's sick.
The most, like, blurry Darth Maul on a DVD you could have. And it was in Japanese, like, but I watched it.
Star Wars in Japanese actually hits. Shout out to Galactic Cantina. He sent me Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Japanese, and that shit hits.
It hit.
It is
Yes,
like
it does. Yes,
it,
it does. So
fucking
yeah, it was awesome. The experience was crazy, and I remember people crying. People came dressed up. People were like, I mean, they've been waiting since the '80s for a new movie.
obviously.
Like, bro, and I'm like sitting here like, I can't believe I'm watching a Star Wars in a theater. Like, it was insane. So yeah.
The only experience I got with a Phantom Menace, aside from watching it with my grandpa when I was like 4 or 5 years old, fucking obviously was seeing it in theaters when it returned last year when they used it for the marketing ploy for the Acolyte.
Yeah, I
And
forgot about that.
dude, I can't lie. My theater experience was a little dog shit. It was me and like three other people, and they were all like 50 something, 60 something years old. But their reactions were like, they were like, dude, that was just as great as it was in 99 when I seen it. I'm so glad they brought this back to theaters. And I'm like, dude, I'm glad I got to see it in theaters. Like,
Yeah.
I've never gotten to see the pod race on the big screen. I've never gotten to see Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, and fucking Qui-Gon going at it on the big screen. Like, that was life changing. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's weird. I don't know, like psychologically why this happens the way it does, but I remember going to see that more than I remember seeing the other two prequel movies. Uh, and I think it's just because like it was such an experience that I didn't think I'd have, you know. The other two I obviously went to see 100 times, but like I don't know, going to see a Phantom Menace was such like a cultural phenomenon. Like everyone was all about it. So yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, oh my god. I wish I would have grown up like during the prequels coming out. Like, obviously I got to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and God rest my mom's soul. She should have probably covered my eyes during Anakin getting burned. But I specifically remember going to the drive-in and watching Anakin burn on that big screen. And dude, fucking that was an experience within itself. Not just seeing Anakin burn at 5 years old, but seeing Revenge of, like, dude, 5 years old, like that. I think that was like one of the first movies I saw in theaters. That's a lie. That's a lie. Spider-Man 2. I saw Spider-Man 2 in theaters.
Oh, so freaking good. Yeah. Greatest superhero movie of all time.
Oh, dude. Yeah, fucking Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man, but Spider-Man 2, best Spider-Man movie
I
of
think
all time.
that's the first time you and I have fully agreed on something ever. Yeah. Dude, if you put Andrew Garfield in that movie, you have the perfect movie.
Oh my god. Dude,
The perfect movie.
I need the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Like,
Oh man, yes, it's gonna happen. It'll happen.
I need to see darker Peter Parker. Like, I need to see Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, like, just fucking wrecking havoc.
Yes. Yes, absolutely, dude. I've always been Andrew Garfield just got sucked up into the Sony version of Spider-Man. That like
Dude, the movies honestly aren't even that bad. Like, okay, the Lizard has a stupid ass plan. It's a comic book movie. They're all stupid ass fucking plans.
yes. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, God forbid comic book movies are comic booky
Yeah.
and actually stick to their source material.
Yeah. Yep. You can't do that. It's gotta be more realistic.
Yeah, no, that's why I've never seen the entire Dark Knight trilogy. I saw Batman Begins, I saw the opening of the Dark Knight, and I was like, this is boring, and I turned it off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I am Spider-Man all the way. That is
oh,
my
dude.
superhero.
I've got the literally like the 5 movie collection, and then I've got the Tom Holland trilogy. I got Venom, but I don't have Venom 2 or The Last Dance. So
Yeah.
I've also
I
never
love
seen those movies.
the Venom movies are fine. They're fun. That's the best way I could put it. They're fun.
Yeah,
But
like I enjoyed Venom. Like, I've seen it. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it.
You know, it's fun. I've only seen the ones I've seen on a plane. That's the only time I've ever seen the Venom movies.
Dude, yeah. All right. Well, back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the beauty of Tales from Peridia. It's literally where all fandoms unite, or whatever the fuck my slogan is this go
All
around.
nerds, just all nerds.
Oh shit! I just realized I was supposed to do Harry Potter themed reviews and shit like that. Like,
I'm ready. I will watch that.
oh my god, dude, I forgot about those. Holy shit. Keep an eye out. Those might be coming. We'll see. All right. So, who is your favorite character in all of Star Wars aside from Kenobi? Because that guy sucks.
Aside from Kenobi, well, my answer would be Kenobi. If I'm not allowed to say Kenobi, I will probably say. So it's also hard for me to say Vader just because he is the face of Star Wars. It's like saying Mario is my favorite Mario character. Um, so I will say Jango Fett is my favorite character, just because. And I have a video on him coming out soon, by the way, little plug. But
You're not allowed to do that.
sorry, no, I don't have
I'm
to.
fucking with you, bro.
On my channel. He is, so to me, he shapes all of what happens in the galaxy going forward. Because if he doesn't do what he does, if he's not cloned, and like you have thousands upon thousands of hymns everywhere, like, you know, everyone's obsessed with Cody and Rex and Fives, and you can go on and on. They're
Hey,
all
Fives deserved better.
Fives did deserve better, yeah, absolutely. But like all of them are just Django. They're variants of Django, and even Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett is cool, and they tried to make him not cool, but like he's cool for so many reasons. But like it's all from Django Fett, and he's
Well,
not
see,
talking about.
I'd argue that Boba is the only one that's legitimately Django. I mean, they did
Yes,
alterations for the other clones, but Boba, if you like
unaltered.
Boba, you might as well just say Django is your favorite character.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. So I think as far as the Django that we know, I don't think we were told enough of his story. I love
No.
the video game. The where's that? Where's that? It's over here somewhere. It's back here. Um
Oh, the
the
Bounty
Bounty
Hunter
Hunter.
game?
Oh, it's so good, dude. And like
I've
tells
never
such
played it.
you have to. You must. You must. It's
Potential
very
video series coming soon.
I will watch it. It's so good. It tells such a great story about a character that basically shapes the galaxy. He looks cool. He's awesome. I love the dual pistols. Like he's a cowboy of space. You know, like I think he's awesome. So, and it may just be biased, just because as a kid, like I grew up playing that game. I thought he was. I had posters of him in my room. I thought he was sick. So, Jango Fett, I'd say, is my technically third favorite character. But if we're going with the rules that you have put in place, he's my third or my first favorite.
All right. Well, why is Kenobi your actual favorite character?
Kenobi's my favorite because he started Star Wars. He is Star Wars. He started it and in some ways ended it. Um he is the guy that ends up training the chosen one, and probably doesn't do as good of a job as Qui-Gon would have done. And you can argue that in 18 different ways, but um ends up going the way it goes. He caused Star Wars because of what happens with Anakin. He causes what happens in Star Wars because of how Vader turns into Vader the way he turns into Vader, because of Obi-Wan. And then because of Obi-Wan, Luke is protected for 19 years. And then because of Obi-Wan, you could argue the Death Star is destroyed because he tells Luke what to do. You could argue that he tells Luke, go to Dagobah, go be trained. He tells Luke what to do when he gets to Dagobah. So like all along, Obi-Wan is there, you know, even if you want to get to the sequels, he's telling Rey what to do. So like he's always there. He is the most imperfect Jedi You know what I'm saying? Like, he makes mistakes along the way, but he's also the perfect Jedi because he is fully committed to what the Jedi want. Qui-Gon was not. Qui-Gon was kind of like, this is what the Force is telling me to do. I just happen to be a Jedi. That's the way I looked at Qui-Gon. But I love Qui-Gon. I love his character. And to me, that's a lot of what Ahsoka is modeled after, is who Qui-Gon is. That way of thinking. But like, Obi-Wan just is like, he is the Jedi's Jedi, and he makes mistakes, and he gets a little dogmatic, and even his dogmaticism is it's like hypocritical, like telling everyone knows the joke, like he tells Anakin.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah, which is an absolute. Like he's just like that. So I don't know. I've always loved him. And then my favorite lightsaber is his lightsaber from Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace. Like, I've just
another time we fully fucking agree. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Roger. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, love your work. Love
Yeah.
the Graflex.
Yeah.
I'd much rather the Phantom Menace Kenobi sabers. Like,
so good.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The day I have one in my possession, it's replacing the Anakin saber that's up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because this is my all-time favorite saber in all of Star Wars.
You have it on your body.
It's not even the fucking Revenge of the Sith. It's not even Roger Christian's Graflex. It's the Tusken Slayer. This is my favorite saber in all of Star Wars.
It's so sick. Yeah, it's so sick. I've always loved Obi-Wan's first. I had it like when you could get the you can't think you can see it right there. These plastic ones back in the day from
Hell yeah, dude.
The 90s.
I had them.
Oh man, I played with that. Me and my brother would beat the crap out of each other with those things. He was obsessed. My brother, I'll answer. So no one knows my brother on here, but like I'll answer that question for him. Mace Windu is his favorite character. And bro, he loved some Mace Windu. He had a purple lightsaber. We had a birthday party for him that was all Mace Windu when he was like 6. Like I'll never forget it. But yeah, we loved those plastic sabers. So but I had the Obi-Wan one. It was awesome. But I had the Obi-Wan saber, but it was green because green is the saber color of choice for me, by the way. So
see, going with blue for saber color of my choice. I mean, honestly, George shouldn't have changed Luke's color to green. I mean, sure, it looks cool and growth and all that stuff, but I've seen that original trailer for Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It looks fine. There was no need to change it.
Dude, I will say this about George Lucas. He is a classic overthinker. That's what I've learned. He overthinks everything.
Dude, yes. I have just recently watched the, I guess, 2019 remastered version that's on Disney Plus of A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I've got the despecialized editions. There was nothing wrong with the original Star Wars. The changes in Empire, I will agree with, because the first time I ever saw monkey mask face Palpatine, I was 25 years old and I still had nightmares that night. That was honestly, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I thought Ian McDiarmid was the face of Palpatine even in 1980. Boy, was I fucking wrong.
Yeah. I just now started seeing some more behind the scenes stuff. So I'm weird about that kind of thing. Like if I watch a lot of behind the scenes, it ruins the movie for me sometimes because that's all I'm thinking about when I watch it now. I'm like, oh, that's when this happened, or like, oh, this used to be this. I've watched every behind the scenes thing of the prequels, and like it hasn't really affected me that much. But if I see something behind the scenes of like Mark Hamill like asking about a line or something, like I don't know why it throws me off. So I'm really weird about that.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I gotta work on that. I don't know what that is, but I'll watch it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's when, yeah. And then it'll like mess me up. I can't even think about it So
Yeah. I mean, like the changes and shit from A New Hope from 77 to like fucking 97 when he did the re-releases. Dude, fucking honestly can't watch the new ones because the original was just perfect the way it was. And I understand like that's the way George wanted the movie told, I guess. I think that's bullshit. I think he just wanted to play with his new fucking technology.
I think so too. I think he's an overthinker, and new technology came out, and he's like, well, with this technology, I could do this, and then
Yeah.
like, and he just kept tinkering with them. And
Yeah.
I have all these comments. I have a lot of interesting comments about that kind of stuff on that long video I did about people that are like, if you keep messing with it, you'll take what's perfect and make it bad, like stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. But at the end of the day, that was when, and see, I'm old enough to remember people arguing that George Lucas should relinquish control of Star Wars because he was ruining it, and all that kind of stuff. And I
Be
didn't
careful
really,
what the fuck you wish for.
yeah, exactly. And I think people have forgotten that, but I remember like vividly. I remember having conversations with my dad on like me and him being so annoyed with George because he just kept changing things, and we'd be like, "Dude, stop touching it, dude!" Like we all love it. Like, quit adding to it. There's some things he's done that I like. I actually like. Like, if you go back and watch A New Hope, I don't care that he's added more creatures that walk around in Mos Eisley. I don't care that he's done things like that. But the stuff I do care about is like, why do we have a whole singing and dance number in Return of the Jedi now? Like, why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we? And it
I
looks bad.
haven't watched. I mean, I've seen like I've got the despecialized trilogy, but I've only seen Return of the Jedi once, and I honestly do not fucking remember if there was a dance number or not in that.
So I have them. I have the OGs here on like I have a hard drive that I keep with that has like they're all in 4:3, and like you can tell it's old. And
Yeah.
the one I have doesn't have a dance number, so I don't know when it got at it. That's something we should probably know, but I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, when you watch it now, it feels very like it's for a child. And then you'll watch an interview of George Lucas and he'll say, well, Star Wars is for children. Um, but then Anakin gets all of his limbs cut off and he's just set on
Well,
fire.
see, that's the thing. People cut off that quote. He says Star Wars is a movie that is made for 12-year-olds, but it appeals to everybody.
Yes.
Y'all
Yeah.
quit cutting that fucking quote off. Quit saying that the movie's for 12-year-olds.
Yes. But we see that's what's and I think I mentioned this in that video I was referring to earlier. People love to quote him when it fits their narrative. And then but they'll take one quote out of context and make it fit that narrative. Whereas, like, I think he's just overthinking everything and making Star Wars the way he wants to make it. He's the creator and he can do that. So now I think it's awakened, like with Disney doing it, it's awakened a lot of angry people because they didn't start it. They're just changing what was started. And now we all
Well,
have a reason to be upset. So,
yeah, like I mean, that's my biggest gripe with especially like Dave Filoni and all like not even just Dave, it's literally everybody at Lucasfilm. I said it in my video. This shit doesn't have to be good to everybody. It just has to be good to them.
yep.
And they do blatant disregard for canon and all of that shit. I mean, for fuck's sakes, look at the EU.
Yeah.
They just don't use it. It's so many great stories, and it just hurts me personally because I've gotten so into them lately, and everybody's like, "Well, George didn't like the EU, blah blah blah." If he didn't like it, he wouldn't have signed off on any of these stories.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, granted, most of them was just making sure that they didn't convolute with his story.
Yeah.
But if he didn't like it, he wouldn't have signed off on the shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And to be fair, early on, like when Disney started releasing these movies, like in 2015, like we all I think universally, if I remember correctly, we all liked Force Awakens. Uh, the
It
way I
was kind. I liked it personally. I still like it to this day, but
yeah.
reviews were kind of, at least on my algorithm at the time, they were kind of all over. Oh god damn it! Hold on, I froze.
So here I am. I am Tales of Peridia now. And
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But the algorithm at the time, every review was different. There were some that were saying that it was one of the best ones that's come out. There were some that were saying that it was a rehash of A New Hope, which it is.
yeah,
It really is.
100%.
And after that, everything just kind of felt well, not felt it fell apart.
Yeah. I remember, and I know you were like me. I watched every trailer, every breakdown, every theory, I watched everything. That's how I got into Star Wars YouTube. That's how I found out who Star Wars Theory was. In fact, actually, I'll be honest with you. The first channel for Star Wars I ever subscribed to, shout out Star Wars HQ. I watched their videos. They're like twin brothers. If anyone's ever seen them, fantastic channel for the time. I haven't watched them in a long time, but back then that's all I watched. I watched
Fake
them.
fan.
They were like, I loved them, dude. They were breaking down all sorts of stuff. And then I found out who Theory was and started watching him there. So like, but back then I remember being so invested in like I was nitpicking every little detail. And then I remember going to watch it and thinking like, that was sick, dude. Like the bad guy, Kylo Ren's kind of sick. Like, and the whole thing that happened with Han, like I was really intrigued on what was going to happen next. I didn't know. It sounds weird, but I didn't know to be mad at it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I was giving it the benefit of the doubt until we saw whatever was going to transpire. Yes, it was a rehashing of A New Hope, but I honestly was okay with that at the time because I'm like, that's safe, you know. But man, did it fall off. it fell off.
Yeah,
That.
see, and it sucks 'cause every time I rewatch The Force Awakens, I have such a great time with it. I mean, sure, yes, there's nitpicks here and there, like how the fuck did Maz Kanata get Luke's lightsaber?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Never will understand. Oh, actually, they probably answered it in some fucking off comic or
In a
anything.
comic, yeah. That's what we wanted. Yeah, we wanted to read the comics. That's what we wanted. Yeah.
But shit, what the fuck was I saying? Damn
You
it.
love the Star Wars Closet. It's your favorite YouTube channel.
I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but oh, but I get mad when they get to the final battle because I just know where it goes from there. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't, and maybe I was just stupid at the time. I don't know. It was 10 years ago. But when she beat Kylo at the end, I remember being so annoyed. Like I was like, that's gonna really lessen him in my eyes. You know, like I feel like he should have
I
done.
liked it at first.
See, I didn't even think about the fact that Chewie shot him. You know what I mean? Like that had left my mind because at that point, like he took out Finn, who was a trained stormtrooper with nothing. So when he got into it with Rey, and Rey wins that battle, I was kind of like, okay, you know, like whatever. I was kind of like, I wasn't mad. I was just kind of annoyed. I was like, I really want him to be like this BA dude that comes in there and just dominates.
Well, see, that's where I thought that they were going to go in 8. That's why I liked her beating him because I took into account that, this dude, I mean, the whole time he's fighting Finn, he's literally beating his fucking side, causing blood to drip.
Yeah.
And which is really good because that's a nice play on the whole dark side being fueled by anger, hatred, and pain and all that shit. I mean, that what better representation can you get of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then she goes on for 2 more movies and doesn't take any damage.
Yeah. And that's kind of like that's my problem. Like, and that's a lot of people's problem. No damage. And Finn, no one knows what Finn's up to. And like even when they're showing you, you're like, all right, Finn, let's move on. You know, like I expected so much more. Finn is I could argue Finn, it might be the most unutilized character with potential in all of Star Wars. In all of
Yeah.
Star Wars. Because he was the face of the prequels there for about a year's worth of
The
trailers.
face of the what?
The face of the prequels for a year's worth of trailers. So in 2014, they
Finn?
dropped. Well, here's why. Here's what I'm saying.
Finn was the face of the prequels.
Here, or not, no, sequels. Sorry. What did I say? My bad. What? We
Oh
we
no,
had,
we're keeping that in.
keep it. Just
I've
keep
got
it.
a
Who
great
cares?
edit
Who
for
cares?
that one.
Yeah. Who even cares? And that'll be clipped and I'll get hate and it's fine. So Finn was the face of the sequels for at least a year because when the trailer dropped, the first thing you see is a stormtrooper without a helmet on, and he's like freaking out, and everyone thinks it's on Tatooine. You know, like I'll never forget that. And I think everyone was waiting to see what was going to happen with him. And then when really all it was I'm a stormtrooper, but I don't want to be. And then it was I'm getting out of here. And then it was I'm going back. And then it was no, I'm not. You know, like it was a lot of that. I'm going to release these space horses because that's the right thing to do. You know, what are we doing?
Yeah, they had to show the stormtrooper that broke away that war was bad.
Yeah,
The literal child soldier. They had to teach him that war was bad. When
and
that was the whole reason why he left in The Force Awakens.
he's yeah, and it's like he's too soft to be a stormtrooper from childhood. So like because there's a lot of
See, that's
waffling.
where I get confused because Force Awakens, he's obviously a stormtrooper in battle. But in the same movie, he says that he was a janitor.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. But this is also the same movie that had Leia hug Rey and she never even met her. And Chewie just walks right by her. You know, like that kind of crap. Like no one thought through anything. They were just trying to get the movie out. And so anyway, like that being said, I enjoyed The Force Awakens. It was fun. And if they could have just kept to that, I think we'd all be like, yeah, that's fine. That's way better than what we're dealing with now, where, you know, like maybe 10% of Star Wars fans like it. Everyone else hates it, I feel like. In my
Bro,
bubble,
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's genuinely people are like switching up their opinions or if these guys are easily just trying to get a fucking Mando and Grogu premiere invite. But I have been seeing a lot of people glazing and loving the sequels. And
yeah.
it's a little nauseating. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like 2 months ago, you were bashing the shit, and now all of a sudden everybody's praising them as we're getting closer to the Mando and Grogu movie. I mean, it's I'm gonna put in a clip of that teacher from The Incredibles. You know, the coincidence? I think not.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Maybe you're right. They were hoping for an invite to some premiere. I'm gonna hold steady on I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I hated The Last Jedi. And I had a fun time during The Rise of Skywalker, but past that, um, stupid movie. So stupid movie.
See, I wouldn't mind 8 so much if 9 had stuck to what 8 had set up. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing that these guys are gonna do or that anybody can ever do to convince me that anything Luke Skywalker does will ever lead up to what we see in episode 8. No, no, no. Fuck no. No. Just no. Shut your fucking mouth. You're arguing with a wall because I'm not
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree. It was like Ryan Johnson and JJ were playing like FU. You know, like they were
Well,
like,
dude, did you see his interview that came
I did.
out? And
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, we were just telling our own visions." It's like, brother, you literally told him what to do with Luke so you could tell your story. Like
I wish they had just said, JJ, like good, bad, or indifferent. JJ, you are writing the sequels and you're directing the sequels. Just do it. Or Ryan Johnson, you are directing and writing the sequels. Just pick one of them and have them come up with the vision of it. Instead of
or
this, like, let's
or
get 3 directors and then one quits, and then let's have just the same one that did the first one do the third one, even though the second one caused the biggest divide in Star Wars history. You know, like it was weird.
or they could have done what good old George Lucas did. Star Wars is directed by him. Um, Irving Kershner, and I always forget the name of the Return of the Jedi director. 3 different people, one fucking story. It's not that hard, man. It's really not.
Yeah. No. Richard Marquand.
I think his last name is why I always forget because I'm like, dude, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that.
Richard Marquand, yeah. Yeah, and I like that. But see, George was in the middle of it the whole time. You know, it's not like
But George also didn't. George also had a lot of help in the originals, unlike in the prequels. Which don't get me wrong, I love the prequels, but somebody could have told George no a couple of times.
well, George went out to a cabin and wrote the prequels. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But like at least there was a story written out. This
Yeah.
was let's write a story, and then next week we got to write the next one because the next movie's got to come out in 2 years. You know, like it was so stupid. Like the way they did it.
Let's have our actors read the script in a concrete barrier, and they're not allowed to bring their scripts with them.
Yeah. And let's give them no time to train with a lightsaber. That's brilliant. Everyone will love it. So like that kind of stuff.
A whole
uh,
90 minutes before the scene is shot.
yeah, exactly. And I tried. I love Star Wars so much that I tried to make an argument for why the sequels have the lightsaber fighting that they do. And I got hit with a ton of hate, but I love Star Wars. So in my head canon, I was like, this is why it makes sense. Like it has to make sense. Otherwise, I'm always going to hate it. But I still hate it, even if
Well,
it makes sense.
see, I tried to come up with my own headcanon that since this is so far into the future, obviously Ray doesn't have any training for single. I mean, she's badass with a staff. I honestly would not have questioned anything if she had used a staff throughout the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
But when she's using a single blade and she's swinging it like a baseball bat, granted, yes, Luke did that in the originals, but guess what? Luke didn't have a fucking teacher.
Nope.
And everybody, I came up with the theory that, okay, it's so far in the fucking future that, okay, that makes sense. But then I started thinking, like, Luke would have gone out and gotten teachings and artifacts and scrolls and would have taught lightsaber combat to Kylo Ren. What is his deal?
It makes no sense. And I agree with that. I've always thought that she uses a staff in every other situation. And then when she gets a lightsaber, she's somehow a goddess with a single blade lightsaber. Even when and they did it right when they showed that vision of her being like a Sith, like
Dude, that fold out lightsaber,
oh my god,
amazing.
we missed out. And like all that did to me was show me we missed out on something that could have been awesome. But
Dude, I said it the first time we fucking recorded this. Disney Star Wars, and we got the High Republic era, we got the Old Republic era, the Grand Republic era. Disney Star Wars is the era of missed opportunities.
Oh man, that's such a good way to put it. Yeah. That's a video for Star Wars Nerds YouTube channel, I think. But what do yeah, you're 100% right. It is the era that we are in is the era of missed opportunity because it's Finn is the perfect example. Dark Ray is another great example because that when that little like fold out thing happens and she's all pale and stuff, I was like, dude, that's kind of the Ray I want to see. I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to see Ben Solo make a comeback and he fights Ray, the Dark Ray or Darth Ray, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
that would be sick.
fucking, I've said this a million times and I've gotten so much hate for it because every time I say it, people are like, well, that's like saying the last descendant of Adolf Hitler should try to rebrand the name. That's not what the fuck I'm saying. I'm saying that is a last slap to Palpatine. A Palpatine rebuilds the Jedi Order and does fucking good.
Yes, yeah,
Missed
I agree with that.
opportunity.
I agree with that. Yeah, that is kind of an F you to Palpatine to be like, I'm a Palpatine and I've rebuilt the order. And like Palpatine is universally known as like the worst bad guy of all time, you know? Yeah, that'd have been sick. You're right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've always thought, not to go off on a tangent because we could talk about sequels and why they suck forever. But I had this whole thing in my head canon that Ray and Ben Solo were actually brother and sister that were separated. And I think that there's a whole story there that has been complete. We don't need Raylo. No one wanted that. No one asked for that. And every time they kiss in that movie, I can't look at it. It's disgusting. I hate it. I
Dude.
hate it worse than Rose and Finn. I hate it. And I hate it more than Jack not being able to fit on the door in the Titanic. I hate it. It's so stupid. And I remember thinking that was my headcanon. I kept thinking, I bet they're going to come out that they're brother and sister, and that will be sick. That Ray is
it's
the
not
younger
too late.
sister. Yeah, yeah. But like when Ryan Johnson just tried to make her a nobody, and then JJ said, no, she's not a nobody. She's Palpatine's granddaughter. I was like, what are we doing, dude?
Bro,
No one knows
honestly,
what we're doing.
that shit just kind of like I've heard so many YouTubers use the word, but I can't think of it now. But it makes like well, they didn't use a word. I'm about to say the exact phrase. It makes the universe seem smaller.
Yeah,
I mean, her being a nobody is way better than her being a Palpatine
absolutely.
or a Kenobi or a fucking Skywalker, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I mean, what, the Force only flows through those three names?
Yep. That you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I was okay with it, but like I was a little disheartened. I remember because I'm like, I watched all these theory videos on not just Star Wars theory, but like any theory video
Yeah.
on she's a Kenobi or no, she's a Skywalker or you know what I mean. Now I don't know that I ever heard one person say she's a Palpatine. Not one. So when that came out, it was like, come on, dude. Like, that's the best we could do. She's Palpatine. The clone of Palpatine's cloned granddaughter. That's what we're doing. And it made no sense. It was so dumb. But yeah. Anyway, don't like the sequels. If anyone didn't know
Yeah, no, dude, fucking, they really are like this whole era of Disney is just like missed opportunities. Like me and Clone Force are doing our rewatch of the Acolyte series, and I'll fucking spoil this right now. I think that they need to redo the entire show. I don't want a season 2. I want them to redo it, and this is how it needs to be done. It's focused on Chimere and focused on Chimere and Vernestra. Obviously, there's a fucking feud between them. Something happens where they obviously fight and he leaves the Jedi Order. We get that in like the first 2 episodes, whatever, set up the backstory. Then the rest is his training in the dark side. That's the
that.
Acolyte show.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm,
it's that
I'm
simple, dude. Like we could have easily gotten something like that, but no, we got space witches, and I don't want to spoil too much, but my opinion on certain shit has changed. But if you take them completely out, top tier story right there.
you know what's
I mean,
funny?
rewatching episode 5, dude, Chimere is like If I had to go top 3 fucking like characters like in all of Star Wars now, Anakin, Chimere, Bane.
Dude, he's such a good character. He is such a good character, and
He is.
no one cares about him because the show sucked that bad. But he
And
is such the actor is good. The lightsaber fighting, like all of it, like his way of interpreting things. I loved that character. But man, that show was such dog trash that it's so hard for me to even think about. But I will, like, I'll catch a clip of him doing some lightsaber fighting, and I don't want to say this out loud, but I'll watch it. I'll watch him slaughter some Jedi. I like it.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Like you'll have to wait for episode 4 to come out. Fucking there's one scene in episode 4, bro. Chimere, such great acting, line delivery. He's so menacing, but yet soft spoken.
Yeah.
And Osha's response, bro, it took me out of it and I died laughing for 5 minutes straight. And then rewound it and watched it again so I could keep laughing.
It's a joke. Yeah, there's so much of that. Like, if the story had been, I can't remember the main Jedi's name that we all like.
Bro, no. This second rewatch, this fucker is so bad. This guy does not deserve to be a Jedi. He's worse than Anakin.
Okay, gotcha. I remember thinking when I watched it when it was coming out, thinking like, if this show was just about like him and this bad guy, I'd be so into it. Like, but it wasn't. It was about a green bald-headed lady who is basically a Sith with a purple lightsaber whip.
Dude, did you see me and Clone Force's video on episode 2 of the Acolyte?
I'm like 10 minutes into your first episode.
Oh my god, dude. Episode 2, we really go into Soul and like his character and like how he really shouldn't be a Jedi because he's like very like I need to prove myself. He's got very strong attachments and don't get me wrong, dude's powerful in the Force, but he is actively willing to tap into the dark side. And he's very like absolute on like, no, I know I can go and save Osha. I know I can help Osha, blah, blah, blah. And Clone Force is like, when he's like that to Vernestra should like immediately just take her robes off, unhook her lightsaber and say only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Oh, that's a good point. That's such a good point. It's so funny. Yeah, I don't have many good memories of watching that show. So I just remember loving the bad guy.
When I first watched it, I didn't have very good memories. I've enjoyed it watching it this go around, but I think it's mainly because of Chimere. I mean, there's so much shit that I've noticed with him. I mean, this dude is like easily he's got to be one of the most powerful Sith that we've seen since Palpatine. I mean, brother literally is around Jedi for like 2 episodes before they figure out that it's him.
Yeah, and then when they all attack him at once, he kills all of them but one, And that whole scene was crazy. Like we haven't seen that's what Star Wars has been missing since Revenge of the Sith is good lightsaber combat. And I mean, even Anakin and Ahsoka, like that was just kind of like it was cool to watch, but it wasn't even good lightsaber fighting. It was like subpar,
Hayden did great. I won't lie. I might just be glazing Hayden, but Rosario, no.
It was
I
it was
mean,
too
I'm
slow.
sorry. She trained with this motherfucker for 3 years, and that's the best she can do.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like when we watch Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, she's quick. She moves like a mixture of Anakin and Yoda. Like she's jumping around, flipping like real quick with her double blade sabers. And then, man, when she fights Anakin, it's like this slow movement, And Anakin, like Hayden, looks like he hasn't lost a step. Like he could keep going the way he did, 20 years ago. But yeah, that's kind of been a disappointment. But I like all the lightsaber fighting in Disney's been a disappointment apart from the Acolyte. That's
Yeah.
the best lightsaber fighting we've seen in a while. So
Oh, hey, I will say, even though I may have misinterpreted what they did with Luke and Grogu in Book of Boba Fett, but that hallway scene that
yeah,
was pretty fucking dope.
no, it was great. Yeah, yeah. But like even that though, like it was great. Like that's the Luke we've all wanted to see, to be honest. Like, powerful, go in there and beat up everyone. Luke Skywalker is what we wanted to see. So I was obsessed with that. I didn't cry because I wouldn't cry, but I do remember being like super moved by it because I'm like, are you serious? Like we just saw Red 5 go into this situation, and then Luke just came out and just demolished all these things that are killing everybody. That's sick. But even that, like I'm like, but I'd love to see Luke in like a modern lightsaber fight. That would be
Yeah.
dope. I'd love to see that. The second Vader Luke Skywalker fight is awesome, but it's still very like 80s hack and swing, like even like if you really break it down seriously, even when Vader falls down, and he's like holding onto the rail and Luke's like, like freaking Link from Zelda, like just swinging at him as hard as he can. Like even that was kind of like you could tell someone said, now fall, and then he got falls down. So, but I love, everyone loves a good lightsaber fight. So I think we just expect more nowadays, and we're not really getting that. So,
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. I've said it with Sklee 3PO. I've said it multiple times on Star Wars Nerd. Fucking, I realize what the potential Disney can do. Disney realizes the potential that they could do. They just don't want to do it. And that's irritating.
yeah.
You know what I mean? For fuck's sakes, they can announce anything that they want. Doesn't mean it's coming out.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
I mean,
And it probably isn't.
Dude, I'm honestly waiting for them to be like, okay, so Starfighter's canceled. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yep.
If
Yep.
Mando and Grogu's canceled. Fucking
Yep.
like, bro. For all of you guys saying, oh, we got a release date for Mando and Grogu and fucking a year release date for Starfighter. The Mandalorian video game, literally 3 days from release, gone. Doesn't
Yep.
happen. So, well, I don't remember if we got to all the questions last time, but we didn't get to all of them this time either.
Okay. We still had a good time.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. And we didn't beat a conversation topic for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But so I ask two more questions before we get out of here. What is your favorite Star Wars movie and show?
Well, Star Wars movies Empire. I love that movie. That's like even merchandise wise, like I have a lot of Empire stuff. Um, and for all the reasons everyone else says, just love it. Love how Vader is in that movie. The introduction of Boba Fett. The Empire kind of like getting the W by the end of it. Like it's kind of cool because you can't wait to see like what happens next. It's going to end well for the good guys, but it's kind of cool to see that. So I really enjoy it. And then the whole fight scene with Vader and Luke is really cool to watch. So I love Empire. Show is tough because I don't like most of them. So I have a hard time with most of them, and I've said this in a lot of my videos. I have a hard time with the animated stuff. I'll watch them. I just have a hard time with them. It's just hard for me to get into. So
You heard it right here, folks. Star Wars Closet hates 2008 Clone Wars.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Clip it. Hate me. Don't even care. Yeah, but I like those. I would say just purely off of because he's my favorite character, I'm going to say Kenobi, even though the show sucks. I could go back and watch Kenobi just because I like watching Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I would say after that, maybe Ahsoka, and then the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian would be my favorite shows. My least favorite would be probably The Acolyte and then Boba Fett. Those two I hate. I hate those shows. Hate them.
All right. And the last question before we get out of here is any tips or words of wisdom for the people watching at home?
General tips and wisdom. I would say if whatever it is, whatever your experience is, your story does matter. Your perspective has value. So share it. Tell people what you're going through. That's helped me a lot. So get out there, tell people what you have going on, enjoy life, and try not to take it too seriously. Just a lot of crap happens to you and to other people, but try to enjoy life until the end. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's working out okay. So do that, but share your story with somebody, whatever it might be. You think it doesn't matter, but if you tell someone, you might find out it does. So tell people your story. That's my general advice. General advice.
Well, Star Wars Closet. Well, before I do my outro, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where we can find you at and all that good shit?
You can find me on the YouTubes. You can find me on X, and you can find me on Instagram. Just Star Wars Closet or the Star Wars Closet. Just type in that on anything. You'll probably find me there. We just started an Instagram not long ago, so that's doing all right. X I'm pretty active on, and then obviously YouTube. I have videos going out basically every week. So we're about to be by the time this comes out, we should probably be at 10,000 subscribers. So pretty pumped about that.
And how many of them have you bought? I'm fucking with you, bro.
Yeah. I've been asked if I'm a plant, and I'm not.
I think you are. I think you are.
I'm not a ficus. I'm not any of that. I am just a person that talks about YouTube and Star Wars. And here we are.
All right, bud. Well, thank you for joining me on this, and thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Tales from Peridia. Star Wars Closet's information will all be down in the description down below, and may the Force be with you always. Peace.